All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin in the crypto market. Okay, guys, so Bitcoin continued to dump today down to our very key level we were talking about in yesterday's stream, around $87,500. So, first off, I want to talk about yesterday during the live stream. We were doing a live stream, and right after the live stream ended, we were in this general area, about 90,000. Actually, we were taking the liquidity of what was it? These lows down here right as the live stream was ending. And so I said, guys, I do think we are going to continue down. Sure, it's possible we get a small scalp long position from this liquidity grab because we did have some bull divs on the chart. But overall, yesterday I was saying I do think we moved down to our green box of support between the weekly at 87,800 and let's say 50-ish to about 87,500, where the very key support, if you wanted to get into a sniper long, was that $87,500. So after the stream ended, we did continue to dump. Actually, like an hour afterwards, we dumped all the way down to the weekly, and we hit the weekly perfectly, and we bounced off the weekly. And I posted about this in the Telegram this morning. We were pushing up and making a 3-wave corrective move. And so in the Telegram this morning, I let all you guys know, beware of a 3-wave corrective move to reject from those wave 4 targets. So if we pull our Fibonacci from the highs of 3 to the lows of 3, we turn on those wave 4 targets. I said, beware of that rejection between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. And because we're looking at this as a potential double 1-2 impulse, a wave 1, wave 1, 2, internal 1, internal 2. This is our big third wave. So we were looking for a fourth wave correction up in between the 382 and the 0.5, where if we did reject, we would expect to come down to actually hit that 80.5K zone of support. So a little bounce from the weekly. It did give us a little bit of a scalp long opportunity. I did miss that scalp long opportunity from the weekly, but I did actually compound my short right around $90,500. And I compounded the short from much higher. My original short was from 97.2 right up here. I'd taken a lot of profit on that, but I said it's likely that we are in an impulse down because we did close a daily candle back inside the volume profile, back underneath the value area high around $92,700, which I talked about in yesterday's stream, that if we close yesterday's daily candle below $92,700, we were most likely going to work our way down to this green box of support. So got the 3-wave corrective move up, rejected from our wave 4 targets, and then we saw a very quick flush to come down to $87,500. And we came down a little bit lower, 87,200, let's say. But that was our general support area. And you can see even on the 1 hour, we just wicked past it a little bit. But at $87,500, after hitting the weekly, so we had already kind of used up the weekly as a support level. I'm going to go ahead and delete that now. We had a daily level at $87,500. We had a naked daily point of control at $87,500. We had a naked weekly point of control at $87,000 and a naked monthly point of control down there. So a lot of support, as well as our 2-month long range point of control at on Coinbase at that $87,500. So as we came down there, we were developing some more bull divs on the chart. Let me just get rid of these now because they've been tapped. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these levels because they've been tapped. We came down with more bull divs on the chart. And yesterday I was saying, yes, we are seeing some bull divs, but I want to see some bull divs on the 4 hour. I want to see some bull divs because the 2 hour and the 4 hour yesterday were not showing bull divs. But you can see as we came down there, very nice bullish divergences on the chart. Money flow was starting to come to the upside. NAMI was showing very nice multiple drives of bull div with money flow crossing into the green as we were coming down to that that support level on the 1 hour chart. And also if we zoom out to the 4 hour chart, on the 4 hour chart, okay, it wasn't the 4 hour, it was the 2 hour chart. We did see some bull divs as well. So you can see we kind of saw those bull divs on Market Cipher B, but much clearer on NAMI. And the money flow started to rise up on NAMI, and very slightly the money flow was rising up on Bitcoin, or on Market Cipher B, excuse me. And so I did take a long from $87,500, and I still am in that long position. But is the dump over? Are we about to see now, is this impulse from 97K, 98K done with, and are we about to see a decent move to the upside? Well, I'm not so sure about that yet, because if we're counting this as a double 1-2 impulse with a wave 1 here, a wave 2, an internal wave 1, internal wave 2, and this was our big third wave yesterday, Then we need a couple 4 5s, and now even if we come up again, we need another 4 and another 5 to create another low. And I posted about this in the Telegram, but I do think, and we talked about this yesterday in the live stream, but we have a lot of liquidity that is resting below us. Let me go to our Model 3 liquidity heat map, and let's just go to the last month of price action. There is so much liquidity resting around $86,000. Let me zoom out to the 3-month chart, and you guys will see this. There is so much liquidity resting below that $86,000 right into the value area low and taking out all those semi-equal lows from the holiday between Christmas and New Year's, where we made all these higher lows just barely, leaving a very strong liquidity trail there, where if we do come down and make another low into the value area low and grab all that liquidity around $86,300, it would take out all the liquidity that is below us here. And it would also give us that potential fuel for the upside. And as far as our impulse goes, if this is going to be a double 1-2 impulse, then we need one more low on the chart. We have 2 1-2s, so we need 2 4-5s. Now, I have seen some other crypto traders that are looking at this impulse down from 98K a little bit different. But whether we look at it as the double 1-2 impulse or a single 1-2 impulse, where we have our wave 1 here in a contracting diagonal, our wave 2, and they're looking at this entire wave down to the weekly being a wave 3. So that is a valid count. And then we just saw a sort of flat correction in here for a wave 4. Either way, you would need a wave 5 to make a new low below today's lows in order to finish this impulsive structure to the downside. But this does look more impulsive to the downside than corrective. And now with the new low that was put in today, I would have to say that it is much higher probability that this is impulsive price action to the downside. And I am still in the long from $87,500. I have a couple levels I'm interested in TPing. If we backtest that $92,700 value area high, I will look to take some profit on that long position from there. But I do think lower is probable, or at least likely. And but let's just go with the scenario that the impulse is done with, right? We had our double, our wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. It is done. The single impulse, the single, instead of a double 1-2, we're going 1-2 all the way down to the weeklies, a 3, 4 here. It was a 3-wave corrective move, and then a wave 5 here. So if the impulse is done and we are about to see a bigger bounce, after any impulse finishes, you're looking for a corrective move. And a common corrective move in a retracement, in, let's just say on the daily time frame, all of this move from 98K to 87.5 could only be a wave 1 of a much bigger impulse to the downside to take out our $80,500 lows. So if this is a wave 1 to the downside, a completed 5-wave impulse to the downside, and we're looking for a retracement, your most common area to retrace is between the golden pocket and the 786. Really the 0.5 to the 786, but the most common area is that golden pocket. And the golden pocket is above the value area high. So if we were breaking up to that golden pocket, we would have to watch for a potential flip to support again to continue higher. But we do have some that 0.5 Fibonacci. So if I just go ahead and come in here and we throw on our 0.5 Fibonacci as well, you can see that 0.5 Fibonacci is going to be coming in right at that value area high. And that is a very interesting level to me. Let's see. We also have a naked daily point of control in that general area around 93,000. So I would say the next big area of resistance on us on the chart, if we are going to see a bigger bounce to the upside for a wave 2. And remember, in this bigger bounce, we would expect a larger 3-wave corrective move. After this impulse is finished here, we would expect a larger 3-wave corrective move. And so between, let's just say 92.5 or 92.6 to 93,000, we could see a rejection from that area of resistance and then start our giant 3rd wave on the daily time frame to the downside. And we would expect a lot of volume to kick in on that push to the downside, and we would expect some high volume and volatility on that. So the reason why I'm talking about all of this entire push down, let me clean this chart up for you guys real quick here. We'll turn off the levels for a second. And let me just get rid of that for a second as well. So if we're looking at this entire move down as a larger impulse to the downside, oop, what am I doing here? All of this is a wave one. Our wave two can retrace between the 0.5 Fibonacci and the golden pocket. We would be looking for a big wave three to the downside, and then a wave four, and then a wave five. But we would really want to come take out not only our 80.5K lows, but really the very key for me, if we're looking at that bigger flat correction in here, then we want to come take out our 74.5K lows. So making new lows, we do have some important support between 78 and 77,000. We have that naked weekly point of control, a naked daily point of control, and a weekly level down there. But we want to see this from the all-time high. We are looking still at impulsive price action to the downside as a probability, with this last 2-month-long range being a complex WXY correction. So let me go ahead and hide this real quick. And we're looking at a potential wave one, wave two, a big wave three in here to 80.5K. All of this was a wave four and a complex corrective move to come up to retest that anchored VWAP and the point of control of the range. And then we would be looking for a large wave five on the daily time frame to come take out potentially your 74K lows. So if we're looking for that, then what we've seen over the past week or so could just be the start of that impulse. Within this bigger daily wave five to the downside, we're going to be looking for a wave one here, a wave two, a big wave three, wave four, and then a wave five to come down. And I would probably extend this three a little bit further, and then your five to come down potentially to take out your 74K lows. So we would want to see some new volume kicking in after a move to the upside. So right now we could see a move to the upside over the next couple of days, maybe even over, till the start of next week. We could see a bit of a move to the upside to backtest some levels of resistance. If we zoom in on the hourly chart now, actually, let's zoom out to the 4-hourly first, and I will talk about our channel that we've been looking at. So let me hide the big Fibonacci channel, and we will come in and look at our parallel channel here. Not that guy. Our big parallel channel that we've been in for 2 months. You can see yesterday we did break it to the downside, had that 3-wave corrective move to try to get back inside of it, and we're flirting around with it right now. So I'll zoom into the 1-hour chart so you can see that we are flirting around with losing it. We're trying to break back inside of it. And we did have a sort of a flat correction in here, or we could be looking at some sort of flat correction in here as well. But we're flirting with losing it. And if this support level doesn't hold, that's when we could really, after kind of generally back testing this channel here, we could see a big drop to the downside. And one more possibility that is we still are in the double 1-2 impulse. Instead of counting it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that's finished, we could still say, hey, this is a double 1-2 impulse. 1, 2, 1, 2. This was your third wave. We got our 4, we got 1, 5, and now we need another 4 and then another 5 in here. And really, if we break the highs from this morning at around $90,500, actually exactly $90,500, then that could disrupt that double 1-2 impulse. So that's kind of our invalidation, because if we start to break these highs, then we're going to say, yeah, this is most likely a completed impulse to the downside that ended at a very key support level of 87,500. And now we might see a bigger 3-wave corrective move up to our resistance area of between 92.6 and 93,000, or potentially even a little bit higher to the golden pocket. If we look at, let's zoom out to the daily time frame. Daily bear divs have confirmed, which is giving us quite an aggressive dump here. But on NAMI now, with the big dump today and the green candle that we're seeing at close, we're closing the daily market today, right now, as we speak. It is market close as I'm making this video. You can see that our daily NAMI has a green dot and is starting to push to the upside. So yes, could we see a bit of a relief rally up to 93K or so. And it would also fill in some of the fair value gap that was created yesterday. We kind of have a fair value gap on the daily within this level. It would fill in that fair value gap all the way up to our resistance box. So let me turn on our fair value gap on the daily time frame. You can see we have that fair value gap. It would fill that fair value gap. We could come up a little bit higher, retest that value area high. But what I would like to say is we have fallen back inside our volume profile, our 2-month long range volume profile. And that is a bearish sign. So we busted out of it. Let me go ahead and turn it on real quick before I keep going. We busted out of the volume profile and came up to very key resistance. Now, we were looking for potential swing shorts between $96,500 and $98,500 because it was the point of control of our large range for all of 2025, and it was our anchored VWAP from the all-time high. So if we're looking now at falling back inside the volume profile, yesterday I said if we confirm this daily candle, a second daily candle back inside that volume profile, then yes, it's likely that we could see a move all the way to the bottom of the volume profile, but it's highly likely we see a move to the POC, which was what we did today. We came down and we dropped to the POC. So it is a good support level. I am long from this level. I am playing it as a scalp because I do think we are ultimately going to come lower on the charts. But let's see if we get a decent bounce from here. I will be taking some profit around 92.6 to about $93,000. I'll take a TP1 on the long position. And just keep in mind we have that liquidity that is resting below us into the value area low at $86,000. And you can see the value area low, 86,400, coming into that liquidity that's going to be coming in. Let's just zoom in a bit here. So yeah, 86,000, about $86,400 is the value area low. We could wick past that value area low to stop out that liquidity and to stop out all of this liquidity trail that was formed over that holiday break between Christmas and New Year's. Other than that, guys, you know, there's not too much else to talk about. Bitcoin is dumping. We did confirm the daily bear divs at key resistance. We're back inside the volume profile. And now we just play the levels. We mark out the levels. We don't have to know exactly what Bitcoin's going to do. We mark out the levels. And as we come to the levels, if we have our confirmations on the chart, we take the trade. So we did, as we came down to $87,500 today, we had the bull divs on the chart. Money flow was curving to the upside. And that's why I entered the trade from $87,500 is we got that trigger to enter along and play it at least right now as a scalp long position. Okay, let me quickly, guys, I didn't realize I was logged out on our order flow. So let me just log into the order flow real quick. And then I will show you guys the order flow. Okay, now let's come over here. I will refresh this. All right, guys. So let me zoom out to the 15-minute chart. A majority of the push down that we've been seeing for the past couple of days has been a strong push to the downside. So you can see yesterday after we ended the live stream, we dropped to that weekly level. You can see on the chart a lot of fresh long positions coming in, or fresh short positions, excuse me. Open interest is heavily increasing here as we're dropping, and a majority of those positions that are entering the market are short positions. That's why our CVD is going down. So short positions successfully pushed the price down and gave us some bearish momentum. Now we bounced from a support. We got that 3-wave corrective move right up into that area of resistance. And then we dropped aggressively again, making a new low and creating some more bull divs. But really since yesterday's low at the weekly at $87,800 at the weekly, you can see our open interest has been declining now on this push to the upside. So even though CVD is showing a majority of shorts coming in, it is not shorts. It is not new shorts entering the market now. It is late longers that are getting stopped out. And we are seeing some longers that were probably longing this three-wave corrective move here, getting stopped out and pushing the price down. And then even more locally, like in the past couple of hours, since we hit that $87,500 low, you can see we hit the $87,500. We do have a drop in open interest here as we are seeing a little bit of a rise in the CVD. So it was started out as a little bit of a short squeeze. And we had, once again, I mean, never fails, but let me zoom in on the 5-minute. As we were dropping down to $87,500, as we were making new lows on the chart today, we had people shorting right into key support. And that is always not a good thing to do, guys. After we had dumped pretty much $10,000 over the past 5 days, at the end of a $10,000 dump, we had fresh shorts. If you look here, during this last leg down into $87,500, fresh shorts coming into the market, and they were new short positions. So those new short positions shorted into a very key support. And what happens when we pump? We stop them out or liquidate them, and that's why your open interest is dropping. So we're seeing a short squeeze to start out this bounce to the upside so far on Bitcoin. Now, if the short squeeze doesn't have new positions, new long positions step in here, then we could just roll but right back over and make another new low. So we do need to be prepared for that. We want to see long position stepping in, so your CVD increasing, but you also want to see your open interest increasing here. And we want to see that relatively soon. We did confirm a new daily level to just now. It is 7 minutes past market close or daily close. And so you can see we've just now established a new daily level of support coming in around $88,300. I wouldn't put too much on this level of support, but it will be in confluence. So let me zoom into the 1 hour now. If we are going to see a little bit of a drop right now after the short squeeze happened, if we are going to see a little bit of a drop, if we pull up a golden pocket from our lows today to those highs, those short squeeze highs, you can see our golden pocket is going to be coming in right on that daily. And so if we are done with the bigger impulse, right? If we're done with the impulse down from 98K to 87.5K, and we're going to start a move up to 93,000 or higher, you want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to see an ABC, a bigger three-wave corrective move. Within that three-wave corrective move, you're looking for an impulse in an A wave, a B wave, three-wave correction in a B, and an impulse in a C wave. So coming down to that golden pocket at $88,300 could be a wave too low of our A wave of a bigger corrective move that could last, let's see, our wave 2, or I guess we would look at this impulse to the downside that lasted about 7 days. So we could see this last a couple days. Let me just grab that trend-based Fibonacci time. Yeah, we could see it last all the way through Saturday, or even, pretty much through the week and into next week. Coming into next week, next Sunday would be a nice little area to start pumping. So we might see some very local internal impulsive price action before seeing a bigger drop, and then another little intraday impulse in here to create that bigger three-wave corrective move before potentially starting a much bigger wave 3 on the daily time frame. Overall, I would say we are at support, and we had the confirmations to long the support, so I took the long position. I am playing this long position right now as a scalp long position. Also, yesterday, I posted in the Telegram about the long trade on Solana from $125. $125, where our very key box of support was coming in here. And I did long this 125.3. I think I was at 125.3. I longed that, but I also am not so convinced that we are going to come down and make another low and actually hit that major range value area low at 123.16. I'll go into Solana a bit more later. But pretty much with Bitcoin, guys, we just got to watch the price action. If we do start to change market structure locally, we already have in some ways by, very, very locally changed the market structure. But we might expect a retracement, a dead cap, not a dead cap bounce, but a retracement, a relief rally before rolling over. So I am still more macro bearish on Bitcoin, but I am in a scalp long position. I'm also in the compounded short as well, hedged both ways and secure both ways as far as getting stopped out in profit. Okay, before I move on, I want to talk about the partners of the channel. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees. You can actually earn up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, and you can earn really up to 40% discounts on fees if you deposit some large amounts into the exchange. So great partner, BYDFI. I've also partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community where you can sign up with the Telegram. All you need to do, it's free to sign up. You just need to join BYDFI using my affiliate link, deposit $100. Once you deposit that $100, that's your money to trade with. You're just using the platform for it. Once you've done that, you can click the Telegram link in the description of this video, type in /verify in your user ID, which will be right up here, and that'll get you access to the Telegram. And once you're in, you are in. You can also get some of the best initial deposit bonuses with BYDFI. You can get, just for depositing that $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest deposit bonus on $100 I've seen on any platform. And they're offering some various 20% and 10% deposit bonuses if you deposit these amounts into the exchange here. So links are in the description for BYDFI and Telegram if you guys would like to join. And I do post my analysis in that Telegram throughout the day, like I warned you guys. I actually, yesterday, right after we dropped on Solana into our support, I told everyone I did long on Solana from that $125 area. And I also posted about Bitcoin throughout the day in the Telegram. All right, let's see here. Let me check this out. Yeah, and next partner of the channel is going to be NAMI Trading. So NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator that I use down below here. It is crucial for me when I'm entering and exiting trades. So for instance, today, as we were coming down to our very, very key support level of $87,500 that we had marked out and planned to trade from ahead of time, we're looking at now the indicators to see whether we have confirmation. So I'm looking for bull divs. I'm looking for money flow to be coming to the upside. And if I do see that as we're coming into our support level, it triggers the law for me to enter the position. So NAMI has been an invaluable tool to help me get the right entries on trades and to stay out of bad trades. If you're interested in purchasing NAMI, I have partnered with NAMI Trading to get you guys 50% off. If you use my affiliate link in the description below and you use the discount code DIVINE50, you can get 50% off. Just use that in the promotion box on the website. And then lastly, the last two partners of the channel are MEXC and Bybit. Both great exchanges, both offering some perks if you join using the affiliate link. Bybit's offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses, and MEXC is offering a 10% initial deposit bonus up to $1,000. Okay, I want to move on really quickly here to the total market cap because we talked about this yesterday in the live stream. The total market cap yesterday was coming down to a very crucial support level of a local golden pocket pulled from your last big daily low to our highs that we made after taking some range liquidity. And that golden pocket was in confluence with the bottom of the pitchfork. And you can see here, the bottom of the pitchfork had been holding throughout this entire 2-month-long range. It had been holding as support. And I said, if we start to break this down and close daily candles below it, then we could see a much bigger drop to the downside. So yesterday we did actually break down and close the daily candle below it, but today we closed our daily candle green back inside. So we could consider this a sort of fake out, and we might still hold this and make a bigger relief rally to the upside. And that's why I am long on Bitcoin, because total market cap was at support, very key support level. And we reclaimed after making a new local low intraday or on the day. We are now back inside the pitchfork, and you can see as we're speaking, making this video, we broke back inside of it, and now we're back testing that pitchfork and seeing a little bit of a bounce. So we could be finding reacceptance on low time frames back inside the pitchfork. And that is really what we want to see, because if we start to close another daily candle underneath this pitchfork, we could see a much bigger drop to the downside. So we want to see this pitchfork overall holding as support. And then if it does, we could get a move once again in a wave 2 retrace. If all of this entire push down was a wave 1 of a much bigger drop to the downside, we could get a retrace up to near that golden pocket area, 3.14 to 3.15, which is also kind of an important support resistance flip as well. You can see kind of a support resistance flip in here. So key area to be looking for a lower high before potentially making a lower low and actually breaking this thing down. But that's it for the total market cap. Next, let's move on to Ethereum real quickly. So guys, yesterday on Ethereum, during the live stream, we were looking for a bit of a long entry around our 2975 area of support. We had the point of control of our 2-month long range, but we also had a naked weekly point of control in here. Actually, let me turn on the levels. So we had a naked weekly point of control. I deleted it because it was tapped. We did have a naked daily point of control that was there, and our range point of control, and then also a daily level in there. So between like 2975 and 2966, if you guys go watch yesterday's live stream, that was really the key areas I was looking at seeing a bounce from. And we were coming down there. As we were coming down there, we were seeing bull divs on the chart on lower time frames. If we zoom in on the 1 hour chart, as we were coming down to this resistance, we were seeing bull divs on the chart, lower lows, higher lows here. Now, our money flow didn't look good on Market Cipher B, but on NAMI, we had nice bull divs and money flow was crossing up into the green, starting to move up. But what happened right after I ended the live stream, and I did attempt to scalp long for a scalp from this area to bring it up to our purple box of resistance, but we lost it and we dumped, and that was a losing trade for me. And that's why it's important to set a stop loss, because all your confirmations could be there, but it can go against you. But the next level I was talking about was that key level of the daily level around 2902, along with the value area low of the 2-month long range. And you can see we saw a pretty, well, first of all, we got that dump, 3-wave corrective move, and then we came down and actually hit that daily, hit that value area low. What's important with Ethereum is we're breaking market structure bullishly. We've broken above our 3-wave corrective high, and it does look like some decent volume came in on this push to the upside locally. Like if we look at this volume here, we saw a pretty nice increase in volume on this push up here, and we broke market structure bullishly by taking out those corrective range highs. And I'm talking about this being a 3-wave corrective move, a flat, because you took out the lows, then you took out the highs, and then you dumped. So with Ethereum, we could be seeing the end of our impulse to the downside as well. Let me go ahead and turn off these dailies for a second. We have our wave 1 in a contracting diagonal here, a wave 2. Now, the big thing is all of this could be a wave 3. Then we had a flat and a wave 4, and then that last push down was a wave 5 there. So, yes, there is a count that this impulse to the downside is done, and now we are going to see a bigger 3-wave corrective move to come up to some resistances. The thing is with this, there is a little bit, it's not an invalidation, but it's a little bit of a worry, I would say, a concern. Generally, you want your 4th wave to be longer or similar in time to your 2nd wave. So if we look at the amount of time our 2nd wave took, it took about 2 days and 3 hours. And if we look at the amount of time that our 4th wave down here took, it took about 17 hours. So, 3 times less time than our 2nd wave. So it's not an invalidation, but it is a concern. Also, it is a concern that your money flow is still kind of leaving aggressively here on Market Cipher B and is rolling over on NAMI. And we did print some bear divs on NAMI, making those higher highs today. We made lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. So there is a possibility we could keep dropping here, but Ethereum is bouncing from our value area low overall, the value area low of our 2-month long range. Let me just go ahead and pull that. And we're above the POC. You can see now we've broken above the POC, and we're in process as we speak to flip it to support locally. So what are the levels I'm looking for? If the impulse to the downside, maybe a wave one of a bigger impulse to the downside is done, we're looking for a move to around the golden pocket. So we can pull that golden pocket from the impulse highs to the impulse lows. And you can see our golden pocket is coming right in at the value area high. Now, let's talk in terms of range trading, of volume profile trading, right? We lost the value area high. We bearishly backtested it. Because we rejected on the bearish backtest, we expected to move to the POC. If you lose the POC, you expect to move to the value area low. We got that. We got a full fill of the range after seeing a failed auction above it. Now we're bouncing from the value area low and breaking above the POC. So if we can flip this POC to support, there is a probability that we can move up to fill up to the value area high. And that would also be where our lower high is before maybe creating a third wave to the downside and really seeing a bigger 5-wave impulse down on higher time frames. So let me just zoom out here. We could be looking at a bigger move down with all of this being a wave one. We could retrace up to that golden pocket in a wave two before seeing a big wave 3, 4, 5, see a bigger impulse to the downside to come take out your lows, your, what was that, November 21st lows. But that's, so Ethereum, I am not long on Ethereum. I was concentrating on Bitcoin and Solana, but we did bounce from our support level. And if we do move up to about $3,200, $3,215, I will be looking for a short just based off of the, first of all, the bearish break in market structure by taking out these lows. We broke market structure bearishly. On the 6-hour chart, we've now broken market structure bearishly. So because we've broken market structure bearishly, we can look for a more probable, a lower high before making another lower low. So to me, that $3,200 area is going to be a key area. But you can see that I do have a little local resistance box before that. And if I turn on some of our levels, not the weekly. Now that weekly's been hit now. We can go ahead and get rid of that weekly. And our daily level, I'm just going to delete this daily level because we tapped into it today, but you can see that's where we held support. We wick past it a little bit with a little bit of a liquidation cascade, but our daily level and our value area low held. And if we look at naked daily points of control, let's get rid of this one. You can see that we do have a fresh naked daily point of control right into that golden pocket and value area high. So for me, this is going to be, and let me turn off these dailies to clean up the chart. I'm just going to get rid of this for a second. Actually, we're going to hide that. But the very key area of resistance above to me is between the value area high at 32.20 and our naked daily point of control at 31.83. And actually, really, the if you want to snipe this around 32.20, because we have now another naked daily point of control right in here at 32.21. So naked daily point of control there. So this is our resistance area where if we do come up in a 3-wave corrective move up to that area, it could be a very nice swing short opportunity for a larger wave 3 to the downside. So that's the key resistance I'll be looking at. Locally, if you're not in a long from around $30 or $2,900, then I mean, we are back testing the POC right now. We're attempting to bounce. So what you could be looking at is a local scalp in there. For me, I'm not planning on taking this, but just to show you guys, if we came in on the 50-minute, you can see right now we're kind of dropping to back test that POC. We wicked past it a little bit. So if you wanted to enter long to bring up to 3,200, you could enter right now. I would put my stop below that wick that we just created on the back test, and I would be targeting that $3,200 and 32.20 area. Almost a 7-to-1 risk reward trade there. And then I would be looking for a bigger short around 32.20. All right, but that's it for Ethereum. Now let's move on quickly to Solana. Now, Solana, guys, is interesting because I've been talking about the bigger accumulation pattern on the daily time frame. So first off, this is going to be review for a lot of you guys that are regular in the live streams, but I've been literally talking about this scenario that has been playing out absolutely perfect for about a month now. So I'm going to turn on our large range. It's almost a 2-year long range. It goes back to November or March of 2024. You can see March of 2024, so almost 2 years. And we've been chopping sideways and forming what could be an accumulation range between the point of control of that range and the value area low of that range. And what we want to see in accumulation is we kind of want to see that bottoming reversal pattern, whether you want to call it an inverse head and shoulders, like a left shoulder here, right head here, right shoulder here around this area. Then if we can hold it, we can see maybe expansion to the upside and potentially even come up to like $200, the value area high of that range. But we've been chopping and focusing on this sideways range between the value area low and the point of control. Now, many of you last week with me were looking at taking out the liquidity of the range highs into our logarithmic golden pocket. If we look at the regular golden pocket, it's at 150 to 152. But if you look at the drop, because this is more than a 30% drop to the downside, it's a 32. Actually, if I get it actually on the low, it is a 32% drop to the downside. So because it's more than a 30% drop to the downside, you need to shift your Fibonacci retracements based off log scale, and it will give you the proper retrace for a golden pocket. And you can see we grabbed the liquidity of the range highs right into that logarithmic golden pocket. We were looking for swing shorts up here to bring down to 125 to 123. Go watch my video from last Friday, or go watch my video from Monday. And this happened exactly like I was planning on it playing out. So I did short around 146, excuse me. And then I took profit at 128. That was a golden pocket value area low. But the big level I've been talking about for quite some time is this box of support between $125 and $123. And if you go watch yesterday's live stream, I really emphasized that we could see a drop down to this box. So let me turn off the larger range, and we're going to turn on the volume profile for this possible accumulation range that we've been in for the past 2 months. And if we turn on the volume profile for that, you can see that we did drop. Well, we deviated the value area high, dropped back inside at 128. That was where our golden pocket and our value area low was. So it was a level of support. If you go watch Monday's video, I was talking about it as a level of support. But we broke through that level of support, and I did lose a trade there. I talked about it in the Telegram. I attempted a scalp long at 128 for a small bounce up, and I lost that, but I told you guys about that yesterday in the live stream. But once we started to lose it, and Joffiel, much love, brother, shout out to you. Yesterday during the live stream, he asked me about Solana, and we were literally dropping right below it right here as the live stream was ending. And I told him, I pretty much just said to everyone on the live stream, guys, we are losing the value area low, and right now we are coming up for a bearish backtest. If we bearishly backtest on the day and reject, then I am going to expect that drop to 125. And that is literally exactly what happened. After I ended the stream, it was like an hour or so after I ended the stream, we saw that small move up to backtest that value area low, and we rejected. And since we rejected, we expected to come down to break our lows for the day, but really to come down to our support level. And so we did. We rejected. We came down to our support level. Now, I did long at 125.3 because I saw the reaction. I saw we had some bull divs on the chart, very nice bull divs on the chart as we were coming into that area. We had bull divs on the hourly chart as we were coming into that area. Very nice bull divs, very nice bull divs. Money flow bull divs, money flow curving to the upside on Market Cipher B. So my prime setup that I look for between NAMI and Market Cipher B, and I did take the long from 125.33. We still have not taken out that low, but I do think we could come down to take out that low because within this box, now let me zoom out to the hourly chart. So this box of support is a very crucial box of support, but it's between $125 and 123.1. And what I'm looking at in this box is our 2-year long range. If we turn on that 2-year long range, you can see the value area low of that 2-year long range is coming in right around 123.16 or around 123.1, let's say 123.2. The 786 Fibonacci retrace from the last major lows are range lows, because within this range, those are our range lows. So from our range lows to our range highs that we made on Monday, what was that? Tuesday, excuse me. It is our 786 Fibonacci within there. We also had a lot of other confluences of support. A naked weekly point of control we had at $125, 124.75. We had a naked daily point of control at $125. We had a daily level at $124.5. We had a weekly level at $125.17. So it was the strongest level of support, really right around this $125 area. And if we're going to make one more local low, we could make a local low to actually hit the 786 and hit the value area low. But this $125 area was our key support, and that's why I did long this. So we are jumping up to seeing a nice bounce from that, and we're bouncing and we're back inside of our volume profile. So the fact that we've now found reacceptance back within our volume profile means that we could be seeing a bigger move to the upside. But if we look at our Elliott wave structure here, I have to be honest, it doesn't look like it's done. It looks like this could be a wave 1 in here, a wave 2, all of this being a wave 3. We could get a corrective move in a wave 4 before coming down one more time in a wave 5. So let's pull our Fibonacci retracement from the highs of 3 to the lows of 3, and we want to turn on our wave 4 targets between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. Now, you can see they're both really nice levels. At our 0.382, it is also a very key support resistance flip. So we could reject from the 382 around 132.66. Our 0.5, in my opinion, at $135 is even nicer, because we would have a very nice liquidity grab into that 0.5 Fibonacci, and then we could roll over and make one more low into the macro value area low, and then see this impulsive price action be done and maybe make a bigger move up to the golden pocket. But I am long. I am going to take profit. If we SFP 135, I'll take profit for sure. Now, as we're coming up to 132, if we do start to reject from that area, I'll pull some profit out. I did re-enter. So in the Telegram today, guys, I told you that as we were dumping here, I closed. Once we started losing the value area low again, I closed the short, but I re-entered again. So I'm at like 125.7 is my new entry on that today. And I am still expecting a potential a new low coming in locally. But for now, knowing that our bigger accumulation pattern could be playing out of a Model 2 accumulation where we have kind of a tap 1, a tap 2, and we could see a tap 3 in here before seeing some nice expansion to the upside. I told you guys all week last week and this week that I would be longing this if we had confirmation and be holding it as a swing long position, a potential swing long position. At the same time, still short from up in this area, 147-ish, and I am 146, excuse me. I keep saying 147, 146, and I'm potentially looking to take it down to 123. But I have taken now 75% out of the short from this area, from 146. I did take profit exactly at 125. But Solana's trading so nicely, guys. Solana is trading super, super nicely. And if we look at some of our levels, let's turn on our naked daily points of controls. Yeah, all right. We do have a new naked daily point of control that just confirmed about 40 minutes ago that is below us. That's going to be really close to our golden pocket. So let me mark that out. And then we'll zoom in on the chart. And if we are going to see continued movement up to 135, then we can pull a Fibonacci from the lows to our current highs. We turn on that golden pocket. You can see the golden pocket is going to be right where that naked daily point of control is at 127.3. And it's where your value area low of your 2-month long range is. So very nice confluence where if we do drop down here and hold it, I might add to the long position to bring it up to 135. and then I would take some profit there. Just scalp trading this with the intention of leaving some open for a potential swing possibility. But that's it for Solana. Now, lastly, I want to go to I'm not going to cover Sui and Say today, guys. I'm going to cover just Chainlink. XRP still, guys, I'm still looking for XRP to come down to 184. Go check out yesterday's live stream if you want more on that. But seeing a liquidity grab of the weekend lows into a naked daily point of control and a daily level right at a $1.84 is where I'm looking. So I do think XRP can continue to grind sideways and down until we hit 184 to take out those weekend lows. We're back inside the channel, of course, and we're just holding the POC. You can see every time we come down to our large POC, we're holding the POC. And this POC is of a year-long range. Actually, excuse me, not the year-long range. This POC is of our smaller range, our kind of bottoming range, and we could even pull this all the way back to the crash on November 10th, right after November 10th, and you can see it's the POC. But either way, POC value area low, they're the same for both of these ranges. We're holding that POC around 187, but I want to see it drop to 184 or even potentially to like 183 where the value area low is. Now, Chainlink I want to cover. Chainlink yesterday, we were talking on the live stream, and Time Attack, you asked me about this, and you generously gave me a super chat and asked about what can we expect locally on Chainlink here. And oops, let me get rid of some local stuff that I was looking at. On Chainlink, we were coming down to our big support box, which was our 786 Fibonacci retrace around the value area low. And so the 786 I was talking about was from our last lows, our last major lows, up to the highs that we made at 14.3, which, by the way, we looked to short this because it was a 786 into a daily level. Between 14.3 and 14.6, we had this box of resistance marked out ahead of time, and it was also a liquidity grab into your 786 and into your daily level. We perfectly rejected this box, and now we are looking at a potential 5-wave move down, right? So what we are seeing here is yesterday we were at the 786 in the value area low, but we were below them just a little bit. And just like Solana, just like Joffiel asked about Solana, on the lower time frames yesterday, live during the live stream, we were in this area, right in here. And I said, guys, watch for the back test of the value area low, because if we back test the value area low and we reject, I expect us to come down and take out the lows of the day, but I expect us to come down and take out those double lows at 11.97 to see a liquidity grab of these two semi-equal double lows at 11.97. And you can see I even had an alert set here on that. So as we came down, as yesterday continued, and we did reject that value area low, we kind of saw a little bit of a 3-wave corrective move in the morning when New York opened, and then we dumped. And as soon as we grabbed that liquidity, my alert went off, and I saw that the bull divs were on the chart. We had confirmation to long, and we had confirmed the swing failure pattern. So I am long. It's a smaller position for me, but I am long from the swing failure pattern of these lows that we talked about this exact trade yesterday in the live stream, guys. We talked about if we do come down, grab those double lows, then we could look for a scalp long opportunity. And so I am long on Chainlink, knowing that we could make another low, knowing that we could come down to about 11.8, where the macro value area low is. But that is your macro value area low of an over 2-year long range. It goes back to March of 2024. So now, not March, November of 2024. We zoom out on the daily time frame. You can see November of 2023. So over 2-year long range there. Locally, though, we have our 2-month long range, and I know this chart's messy. Let me go ahead and clean some of this up for you guys. I'm just going to delete this now. Delete that now. All right, so you can see this bottoming range, and just like Solana, it is between the point of control of our 2-year long range and the value area low of our 2-year long range. So a possible accumulation range forming over the past couple of months on Chainlink. And yes, is it possible we could still come take out the range lows? Absolutely. We are near the bottom. We are near the value area low of that range, and we are below the value area low of the 2-month long range of this price action. And so grabbing the liquidity was the perfect thing we wanted to see, though. These were internal lows, a lot of liquidity resting below these lows. We got the successful liquidity grab, and now we are attempting to break back up inside of our 2-month long range volume profile, the value area low. You can see we're fussing with it right now. So if we can reestablish acceptance back within our 2-month long range, then we might be able to see a move to take out some local highs around $13 or even push up. Yeah, I would say the impulse could be done. So this from the 14.3 rejection, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, a wave 4 here. That was that 3-wave corrective move in here, and then a wave 5. Just like Bitcoin, there is a problem with the time of the 4th wave. The time of the 2nd wave is a lot longer than the time of the 4th wave, but it's not a hard invalidation. So there is a possibility that our 5-wave impulse to the downside is complete with grabbing some very key liquidity, and now we are going to make a move up to around the golden pocket. So if we pull that golden pocket, you can see it's coming in 13.4, 13.5. And let me just get rid of this and get rid of this. Okay. And it's also an important support resistance flip as well. So that golden pocket you can see is a pretty important support resistance flip as well. Resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, support. And that's in that important support resistance flip area. And then if we look at our naked daily points of controls. Okay. Naked daily is going to be a little bit higher. Gotta get rid of this guy. That was from yesterday. So yeah, we do have some. Let me just move this up. I would say the resistance is going to be between our 786 and our golden pocket, but the 786 is looking nice because you have some liquidity up here into the POC of your large range and also the naked daily point of control. 2 naked daily points of control up here. So I guess the big resistance zone I would be looking at is this area here between 13.9 and 13.75, but knowing we could reject also at the golden pocket between at like 13.5. So those are the 2 kind of levels. And the 13.5 is still important because it's a support resistance flip. And the reason why I'm looking at this is because this impulse could be finished, and now we might be expecting a 3-wave corrective move, either up to your golden pocket or a 3-wave corrective move up to the 786 before seeing a bigger wave 3 to the downside. But once again, grabbing the liquidity into pretty much into our macro value area low, looking at a potential accumulation pattern forming within this area. Now on Solana, we have a much nicer accumulation pattern because if you're looking at whether it's a Model 2 or a Model 1 accumulation, you're looking at within this range, this last 2 months, you want to see like that bottoming reversal pattern. So you want to see a tap 1 making some lows. You want to see a tap 2 that makes new lows below tap 1. Whether it's a Model 1 or Model 2 accumulation, your tap 2 will always be lower than your tap 1. So we have not come down and made a new low below the $11.60 lows. And then after rising, you might want to see a tap, a third tap in here, just like I showed you guys on Solana. And that also kind of creates that bottoming reversal inverse head and shoulders pattern. That's called the Model 2 accumulation. Now, a Model 1 accumulation, you could make another third low, 1, 2, 3 lows, kind of creating that wedge or that channel. And then you break out of it and you see expansion phase of the accumulation. But either way, it's not as nice as Solana's range, like accumulation range. If we do want to make a new low, then we do need to break 11.6 if we want to see like true accumulation take place in this area. So Chainlink might just be a bit behind, and we might need to come take out 11.6. And we do have some pretty key support between 11.8 and 11.6. So 11.8, like I said, is our value area low, and 11.6 is that liquidity. So I would say this could be our next support level, and then it would also be a liquidity grab of today's lows. But locally, I am in the long from 11.97. Resistance, like I said, 13.5, then to 13.75. 2 boxes of resistance. Overall, Chainlink is forming a nice little range at your macro value area low. And this is the area to be looking for swing positions near the bottom of that range. And that's where we fell to today. So I will be potentially holding this long as a swing long. Local market, local Elliott wave structure suggests that we could make one more low. We'll have to see if this is finished or not. And I mean, we are breaking market structure bullishly here above that 3-wave corrective move. So yeah, it could suggest that it's over. Now, just like I said, if you on Solana at that golden pot, that very micro golden pocket and naked daily point of control, because we broke market structure bullishly after this 3-wave corrective move, this could be the start of a wave 1. If we retrace down in a wave 2 very locally, 127.5 could be support. So same thing if we go to Chainlink here. Chainlink broke market structure bullishly by taking out that earlier today high. So if we do come down to our naked daily point of control, which is a little bit higher, it's 12.3. It's not where the golden pocket's going to be. It is going to be closer to your 0.5 Fibonacci. We might be able to see a if you missed the long opportunity from 11.97, you might be able to get into a long from around, 12.3 to 12.27. Even if it's just to take up to 13.5 or 13.8. But that's it for today, guys. Please hit the like button on your way out here. If you got any sort of insight into the market, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, I will be live tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been having some really great live streams with actually getting into some live trades during the live stream. So please come join me. We'll try to get into some trades. We'll look at any of the altcoins you guys want to look at. We'll look at Bitcoin. We can look at the greater possibilities here. But I will see you guys tomorrow.